Hello, it's Mrs. Fisher, Head of Sixth Form, back again. I really hope that you've enjoyed your virtual orientation event today and have learned more about what your A-level subjects will be like and the staff who will be teaching you next year. Throughout this series of videos you've been invited to watch, you may have noticed the opening bars to a score of music, introducing many of the videos today. This is a short section of a composition one of our own students wrote to accompany our school film. In fact, you've just met him in the careers video. It was composed by Declan, who's hoping to study music at Oxford in September. You'll have the opportunity to watch the school film and also then to listen to the full composition after I say goodbye to you all shortly. So please do, I hope you enjoy watching the film and also listening to that music score in full. During the videos today, you may have heard reference to our Davenant Sixth Form dress code or school uniform. So I just thought I'd take this opportunity just to explain it to you, so that hopefully I can answer any questions that might come up from just reading it alone. It is on our school website, and also you will receive a copy of this alongside some other documents before the end of term, which I'll get to shortly. But I just thought I'd just talk you through them and just address any of the questions that some students have had before. We want our students in the sixth form to be prepared for the workplace when they leave us. And so we ask our students to dress in a smart and professional manner. We don't ask our students in the sixth form to wear the exact uniform of our Key Stage 3 and 4 students. We ask instead for business suits and business dress, and that is because we want to put our students as role models for those students too, so that the younger students can look up to the sixth form and aspire to be like them, which I'm sure many of you who maybe have been at Davenant in since year 7, that you've looked up to the sixth form in that way too. So for all of our students, we expect all of our students to wear a smart suit of sombre colour with a matching jacket. Now, obviously suits will come as a set, so you know, jackets and trousers, jackets and skirts, and so there you have one matching set already. But if you also find that you have kind of a skirt or trousers which also matches because the colour theme is the same with a jacket, another jacket from a different suit, and that will allow you to mix and match a little, that's also acceptable. We do ask that jackets are worn at all times, again part of being the role model for other students, and but you can take them off during lessons and if you are in the common room, for example. No hooded or vest tops are allowed, as they are too casual, along with boots and trainers. They're also not permitted, and again see that as because they would not be permitted into a workplace. Hair must be of a natural shade and kept neat and tidy, with no design shaved into the scalp. Baseball caps, hats of any kind really, or similar, must not be worn in school, and scarves should not be used to cover hair unless for religious purposes. One pair of discreet earrings may be worn, and there should be no other visible piercings. And all students are to wear their school lanyard at all times, which holds their student ID and their fob for access. You may have seen some of our students in their videos in there wearing with a purple lanyard around their necks as they're talking to you. That is their school ID and their school lanyard, and also has their fob. So for female students, we would ask that you wear suits, including your jackets, to be worn with a white shirt or blouse and the Davenant tie, and there should be no midriff visible. Skirts should sit at a maximum of 2 inches from the knee and should not be tight-fitting. The arbiter of skirt length being acceptable is always myself, the head of sixth form. So if you want to check the length of a skirt, or if a member of staff wants to query, then it will always come through me to make that final judgment for you. Trousers should be tailored and not tight-fitting so as to have the appearance of leggings, and cropped and capri trouser length are also not allowed, so please make sure they are full length tailored trousers. Both skirts and trousers may be patterned, so for example houndstooth, gingham, tartan and glencheck, but must not be bright colours. So in line with the sombre colours that we request of our suits. And the jacket worn with patterned trousers or skirts should be one of the colours in the pattern of the skirt or trousers. Pinafore style dresses in sombre colours and patterns are permitted, with a skirt length of a maximum of 2 inches from the knee, but should have a neckline to ensure the school tie is visible. And jumpers and cardigans are to be of one block colour. They should be smart, V-neck and fitted, and no logos permitted. Jumpers and cardigans to be worn underneath the suit jacket, and the tie must be visible. And black shoes with no more than 2-inch heels are to be worn. Plain black or neutral tights can be worn if the student requires. So for male students, again a smart suit of sombre colour with a matching jacket, jackets to be worn at all times, and they're also asked to wear a white shirt to be worn with a Davenant tie. Student shirts should be tucked in and top buttons done up at all times. We also ask for black dress shoes, black business shoes to be worn. However, some of our young men do like to kind of combine with navy or blue suits, brown business shoes instead. That's absolutely fine as well. So brown or black are fine if that's what you prefer. And a smart fitted V-neck, one block colour jumper to be worn underneath the suit jacket. Now I do just suggest that you wait to buy your uniform and your dress, your suits, until after enrolment, just to make sure that you haven't changed your mind about whether you want to come to join Davenant sixth form, and then if you go to somewhere else that you realise they've got a different dress code, and so we just kind of advise, you know, not to go out yet, and wait until enrolment, and then you can go and get them. The dress code that we currently have is also an example of how we work with our students, because this was actually reviewed 2 years ago by a working party with the students. I worked with them, and we brought together the views and opinions of all of our students in the sixth form, and we agreed and created this as our dress code, because we really do think it's important that the students that join our sixth form have an opportunity to contribute to the development of it, and it becoming the sixth form that it is today. So just one thing to help with the dress code is about kind of where to buy it. So we do say to our students that we don't want, this isn't, these aren't going to be your favourite clothes, your best clothes. They're not going to be clothes that you're going to wear to go out in, or wear at the weekend, or of an evening. They are there for you to wear to get into the mindset that you are now going to work, in comparison to when you are now going to relax. So, there's not an expectation at all that a great deal of money should be spent on any of these clothes, but also just to, as a help, again, and this was done with students, just to say where the places are that currently have kind of clothing that matches our dress code, and then just some that currently don't, if that's where you would look. So we do update this. To be honest, we haven't had to update it very much, because they very much have stayed the same. In the green are the shops in which they have the clothes that would match our dress code, and in red currently they don't. So you'll be able to just see the difference in the type of clothing that those stores sell for our dress code. Now, as I've said, this is on our school website, with some images as well, which might help you in kind of being able to see about lengths and the way outfits look. But again, please, you can contact us anytime just to double check anything if you need to. So, as I referred to in my introduction this morning, when you enrol into the sixth form, I will be giving you some more information about that just before the end of term, and how that's going to go, how that's going to work. So just to be clear for you though, that enrolment into the sixth form is on GCSE results day. So the day that your GCSE results are released, that is when you will be enrolling into our sixth form, if that's what you choose to do. What I would advise is just for over the summer is just to ensure that you know the specific entry requirements for the subjects you wish to take at Davenant. Completely understand, and we advocate, actually we encourage all students to make sure that they apply to more than one institution for their next post 16 steps, just to make sure that you have choices, because we want students who join us because they really want to, and that's their first choice to come to the sixth form, and not kind of to feel that you have no other choice and you have to. So please make sure, because lots of different sixth forms and colleges have different entry requirements. So please just take another quick look at our prospectus on the website, and just to remind yourself of what the specific entry requirements are for those subjects that you would like to do. Now, we do have a number of questions, and we've had a number of questions about subject change requests, and so I just wanted again to take this opportunity to talk to you about them. So as you heard from Jemima in our video earlier, she is an example of a student who changed subjects a couple of times before she settled and decided on the course programme that she wanted to take. So just kind of wanted to show that as an example that it can happen, and that it does happen. On results day, therefore enrolment, we do often have lots of students who want to change subjects for a variety of reasons, and so we're used to there being changes happening. But for any of you that may have contacted us over the last few weeks, if not month or so, you will know that we've been starting to ask to say that we can't take subject change requests at this moment, and that is just because there obviously has to come a point when we stop changing subjects so that we can finalise a timetable for next year, and then we reopen it again once that's finalised on enrolment day, and then we can start to move kind of students around where they want to go. So please don't worry if you've asked for a subject request and we've come back to you and said, right now, unfortunately, we can't do that, but please just wait for enrolment. That's something very, very usual that happens. It's not unique for this year. And as long as we have spaces within the subjects and you've met the entry requirements, we do what we can to try and make sure that students are on the course curriculum that they prefer. Okay, so just so if you are thinking of any changes like that, again, you can wait until enrolment. Now, just for kind of contacting us over the next couple of months before we start. Firstly, I referred to this questionnaire earlier this morning, and after this event, when all these videos end and you finish watching the school film, we will then contact you with a questionnaire, and it is a Google form, and this is what it looks like just at the top at the moment. So it just talks about kind of sixth form orientation day, asks you for your email address, and then it goes on to a series of questions. So you can't see it on this image, but there'll be two sections. So one asking you for any questions you have for the sixth form leadership team. So that's for myself, Mr. Midgley, Mr. Taylor, and also Mrs. Buck, who is our sixth form manager as well. So you might have already had contact from her already if you've emailed in any queries. She supports us with our admin, and also with kind of students for attendance, and so on. So if you've got any questions for us, please just pop them in the box, or any feedback if you wanted to comment on anything from the orientation event, please feel free. The next question then is if you have any questions for specific subject teachers or specific departments. So again, we do just ask that you to use the questionnaire, and if you could make really clearly on the form which subject area you're addressing your question to. So for example, if it's English, my subject, if you could just put English literature or English language first, and then put your question, that would be great. Or if it's biology, if you've got more than one question, that's fine. Just put English, put the question, and then underneath biology, and then the question, and we'll make sure that those are answered for you too. At the bottom of the form, there is then an option for you to select your enrichment choices, which Mr. Taylor has talked you through in another video today. So we're just asking for your initial kind of thoughts about your first term's choice, which is from September to December, and then your second term's choice, which is then from January to Easter. After Easter, we move on to your post-18 careers programme in that time, so that's already set up for you for that period of time. So and remember, you can change your mind. So once you start with us, if you think actually you want to do something else, or you've had a thought, or you've decided doing a different activity would help a future plan over the summer that you'd like to do, we can accommodate those changes. But just to give us an idea, really. So please fill that in and then send that back to us. We're going to keep the questionnaire open until Tuesday, the 14th, and because then that will give us time to be able to get your frequently asked questions document ready, because we're going to collate all of your questions and then send out a document which hopefully will answer them all in one go to you all, just so that you can then kind of run through all of them. So all that's left for me to say now is just a reminder of how to contact us if you have any queries or questions when school ends. But we do also, for the summer, but we do also ask that you use this email address, sixthform@davenant.org, as the main form of contact with the sixth form. This email account is monitored by Mrs. Buck, myself, Mr. Taylor and Mr. Midgley on a regular basis. So this is the best way to get in touch with us, and also particularly over the summer holidays, this is the best way to contact us. And this will be the email address we'll be asking for contact on enrolment day, if for any of you that need to contact us via email. So please do kind of make a note of that email address, and that's where you can contact us in future. So that just leaves me to say I really hope that you've enjoyed this event, and that you are feeling hopefully reassured, some of your questions may be answered, and that you will now kind of be able to kind of work on your summer tasks maybe a little bit more, and now you've had your taster sessions with your teachers. This event obviously was always planned for you. We would have had it face-to-face in other circumstances, but we hope that you've managed to get a feel for your sixth form from this today. So I hope to see you in September, and take care.